So I'm going to do a swipe. And which direction am I going to do the swipe? That direction. Okay. So, oh, mostly no more magenta. Drip, 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 drip. Well, no more magenta in the cup anyway. And I'm going to put little bits of this here just because I can. And we're not going to notice them at all. And we have an ultramarine blue and the phthalo green, and I'm leaving that spot clear for the white.
There's a little bit of pink there, Sonja.
Thank you.
Don't want to stain the tablecloth.
No, even though it's a plastic tablecloth. You know, that's yellow. This is the yellow we made earlier. I thought might as well use that. That's a sort of a contrasty colour. And could you pass the full bottle of purple, please? Thank you. And I think more green. Right, and then we put a bunch of white on the end. And then we take our piece of acetate and we lay it down like this, and we lightly pull the whole thing across, and we get cells.
Ooh, wow. Why did it do that?
Because the mixing white is denser than all the other colours. And thus it is... Oh, where am I going to put this? Thank you. I need to do a little swipe here, which isn't as good because I'm using my hands. But yes, the mixing white is denser, so it's pushing down, and there's a bubble there. And there's a bubble there. And it's pushing down on those, and so we're getting cells. So that's purple, and that's, I think, magenta coming up with the yellow. And what I think I'll do is Not a good idea. Oh, well, it did spread it out, though.
It did.
Now, see, this bit is all white.
That's not a bad thing.
No.
It sort of looks like a river delta.
Hmm.
Or a white sun. Or lightning.
Still, I want to go like that. But not too much, otherwise the whole thing's all stretched out. But I like this.
I like it too. I especially like this part up here.
So, many people like swipes for that reason. It's an easy way to get cells. I have mixed feelings about swipes because the structure is all very boring.
Because then you basically just have cells all...
Well, you've just got lines. Straight lines. Unless you tilt it a bit. Oh,
I like how it's more blue-green on this side and more purple on that side.
I like this. This is the kind of a stop, don't touch it. And that's why people think that fluid art is not art, because you can create something quickly. I should say that's one reason why people don't think it's art. There are many reasons why people don't think it's art. Hello everyone, we have a dry painting here.
Semi-dry.
Semi-dry.
Almost dry.
Yes, but definitely not dry because I put my finger in earlier, following the adage of a man will believe you if you tell them there are a billion stars in the sky, but if you tell them that the bench has got wet paint, he will touch it to see. I touched it to see. So let's just sort of try to press that back with not as much damage. Okay, so this is the swipe.
Is that why it's got so many cracks in it?
Because it's thick. That's why it's got so many cracks in it, because the paint is thick.
I'm surprised that you didn't... It's not thin though, because if you swiped off a lot...
I know, I'm surprised too.
Okay.
So this I have mixed feelings about, because I really liked the way that it was when it was initially done. But this is still very interesting. Because now this is a case where cracks have been very aesthetically pleasing, because I really like this bit where it's pulled apart and you're seeing a bit of white and then blue underneath. It's a very nice effect.
Well, it looks like the cracks have just followed where the white has been.
Well, they've followed sort of the demarcations of the different colours.
I mean, down here it's cracked open so much that you almost can't tell that it's a crack. Just because it's so clear.
Well, see, because that's that crack there, that crack there, that crack there, that crack there, and that crack there, and then a lesser crack there, and a lesser crack there. The other interesting thing is this. And I think this is because we put the coloured paint down here, including here, and that was some yellow. And the paint that I was using was not titanium white, it was Galeria mixing white.
Oh.
And the difference, Galeria mixing white is a mix of titanium white and zinc white. And one of the differences between titanium white and zinc white is that titanium white is opaque and zinc white is translucent.
So we've got a slightly transparent...
We have a slightly transparent white here, which is showing the colours underneath. And part of me says, oh no, that's a flaw, it's horrible, you can see it like that. And another part of me is saying, nah, it's fog. Fog in the mountains. You know?
Yeah.
Mountain.
Yes. It actually
Mountains in the
cool.
distance.
So have you played with that effect before using
No,
Galeria?
I haven't observed that effect before.
Well, it might be interesting to experiment with.
Yes, it might indeed. And again, this is one that I want to try some thinner paint so that it's not so thick. But yes, I agree. I am surprised that it was so thick, because usually with swipes you swipe, but of course that can depend on how heavily you're swiping. And there are many different tools that you can use to swipe with, and they have advantages and disadvantages.
Right.
Some people swipe with a palette knife. Now, the advantage is that you have complete control over it, and the disadvantage is that you have to have complete control over it. So I'm not as confident with that, because I can't be sure that my hand will be completely steady when I'm pulling it. Whereas I like the acetate swipe usually, because the pressure is caused by the weight of the acetate, which means I don't have to put pressure on it. I just have to concentrate on dragging it.
Yes.
And there are other tools that people use. They use damp paper towels. They use non-stick paper. They use cardboard wrapped with Glad wrap. They use credit cards. They use cut up corrugated cardboard.
So with a wavy edge.
Well, no, just because it's easily obtainable and stiff.
Well, has anyone tried doing a swipe with a wavy edge or with a textured edge?
That is a good question. I don't know.
That might give some interesting
I mean,
effects.
some people have done swipes where you do half a swipe in one direction and then in another direction, which can be a very interesting effect. One of the people I follow, Debbie, and it used to be Debbie at acrylicpouring.com, and now it's Debbie's Mixed Media, I think. Anyway, she's done that, but she was doing that because she was doing a challenge done by somebody else. But anyway, I didn't see the somebody else, so she's getting the credit. But I definitely want to try this again. As I said, possibly with thinner paint or with a firmer, because I admit the acrylic sheet drag that I was doing is not the usual way that I do my acrylic sheet drag, so it was somewhat experimental for me. So
what was your usual way of doing it?
My usual way of doing it, I will demonstrate to you at some other time.
Okay, cool. Well, it looks like the paint has moved a bit, probably because it was so thick, I'm guessing.
Yes, because it's sort of shrunk.
And it used to be round cells, and now they're sort of all over the place.
They're all sort of squished in different directions. But I still think it looks very interesting, like, you know, a weird mountainside of some sort. But definitely this one is not dry, so we'll doubtless revisit it when it is actually dry. So see you later, people.